Yes. Welcome to Afrique 24. This is your 24-hour channel whereby, whenever we meet here, we are going to talk more about politics. And of course, this is our everyday topic whereby we are going to discuss. And of course, our topic today is Gachagua impeachment. And of course, we have been having public participation in this country, Kenya, today in every part of the 254, whereby a lot of chaos has been experienced in many parts of the country, including Kisumu, Kakamega, Bomet, and also other parts of Ukambani. So we are going to discuss all those, and we welcome you wherever you are following this conversation, so that you can join us through the comment section there, and tell us where you're following the conversation from. Either you're following us from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course our TikTok. You shall be engaging the conversation through the comment section there. I have also shared the link. You can join us through the link and get into the studio so that you can give us your ideas about Gachagua impeachment. That is the honest man being scrapped by the UDA government. William Ruto has been silent. He has not responded to Gachagua, whereby he also went to the court to stop the parliament from also impeaching him. Leaders are saying that Gachagua should go. Others are saying that if they are going to go, they should go, all of them. And of course, I'm joined by Buru here. Buru, welcome to Afrique 24. For a long time, we can have you here in our today's conversation.
Thank you, Kimanzi. I appreciate for having me in the studio today. And I want to salute our panelists. I can see we also have Alex and also our viewers. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I know today we're going to have a very hot debate pertaining what is happening in our country, Kenya. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Buru. And of course, we also have Alex here. Alex, welcome to Afrique 24. You tell us your opening remarks as we start this wonderful show.
So, good evening, Bonnie. I hope you are well. I'm happy to be here, and I hope we will have a great show, one which is debatable, one which is educative, and one which the people will love.
Yeah, that is Alex, of course, joining us from Nairobi, Kenya. And also we have Buru from Nairobi, Kenya. So if you're joining the conversation, the topic of today, we are discussing about regarding Gachagua impeachment. And this is the main topic that is happening. And I want to start with Buru, and of course, so that he can give us his opening remarks and what is his view about this motion, Gachagua impeachment. Do you support impeachment of DP? I do think that these two guys, that is Ruto and Gachagua, are having those problems when it comes to the leadership of this country. Yet, in the year 2022, Kenyans went and voted for them. But Ruto has been silent. Do you really think that there is chaos in the government? Or do you think they are just trying to publicize this situation so that they can capture the attention of Kenyans? What is your view about Gachagua impeachment? Do you really support it?
Definitely not. I'm not supporting the impeachment of the deputy president. But I want to say that what is happening right now is unbelievable. When we were campaigning, because I was one of those people who were campaigning for the UDA government, we never thought that at any given time there would be a dispute between Gachagua and the president. What is happening, I can say it's very unfortunate for the country, especially for the economy of our country. I was not expecting that William Ruto can be the one destabilizing peace of the country by attempting to impeach his own deputy, who campaigned for him vigorously. He did everything possible to see that William Ruto becomes the president of Kenya. Remember Kimanzi, this Gachagua, who is being called names by junior government officials, is the same person who was humiliated by Uhuru's government because of how much he was supporting the then deputy president, who is the president today. And I remember there was a time the president promised Kenyans, and he repeated it many times, that at no time will he or his government or any official in his government will humiliate the deputy president the way he was humiliated. You can see Uhuru Kenyatta, though Uhuru humiliated Ruto as the deputy president, he did not go to the extent of attempting to impeach him. You can see how inhuman he has become. I want to say this, Kimanzi, there may be disputes, which is normal. It's not a must that we agree. We can be in the same party, but we don't have to agree on everything. People will always have areas that they differ. But the best way is to sit down and seek for solutions. Because whoever becomes the deputy president is not an angel. I know I will have more time to talk about this, but in Kenya we have a problem, especially with the position of deputies. Deputy president is having a serious problem because the president does not want to be deputized by someone who can tell him, no, what you are doing is not right. The same case with all the deputy governors. They are going through a tough time because we have people who feel that they should not be questioned. We have dictators in the office who feel that because I am the president, because I am the governor, the deputy should not have a say. The deputy should be a yes person. That when he is told to jump, he jumps, and when he is up, that is when he should ask up to where. That is not the kind of the country we want. So Ruto does not want to have this strong deputy who is telling the president, please, the people are not happy. Listen to the crowd. Listen to the people who voted for us. We are becoming unpopular. Let me tell you, Kimanzi, and this one, I would like our listeners to put it somewhere. If there is someone who will give Ruto trouble, is this Gachagua that he is undermining. He is underestimating the strength of Gachagua. He feels that this is someone whom he can just do anything. He can just impeach and that is it. And he continues with his leadership without troubles. I don't think so. It's a big mistake he is making, one for Kenya, because he is destabilizing the economy of Kenya. We'll have like almost 1 year wastage trying to chase away the deputy. And, he'll fight back. So instead of focusing on developing our country, we are now being distracted, which is very unfortunate. The other thing, apart from the economy, the aspect of trust is getting lost. We had trusted this government so much. And I have been saying this, the politics of betrayal is what has always destroyed Kenya. Remember what happened between Kibaki and Raila Odinga. It is what took us to the chaos of 2007. Because there was a promise which was made to Raila Odinga that support me. And when I become the president, I'll make you an executive prime minister. What happened when Kibaki got power? He pretended like there was no negotiation, like there was no deal between him and Raila Odinga. It is the same case that happened between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. They worked very well in the first 5 years. After that, what happened? Uhuru decided to betray Ruto. And that is now the same mistake that our dear president is about to make. When shall we come out of petty politics and we mature and we decide to work as one nation? When shall we say it is no longer about positions? It is about work. When shall we settle down and concentrate to build our country? So these people are doing more harm to the nation of Kenya than good. Thank you, Kimanzi.
Thank you so much, Buru. And of course, that is wonderful. And he's saying that Ruto should not underestimate the power of Rigiji. Rigiji has a lot of powers when it comes to determining the elections of this country. And of course, he contributed to a large percentage when it comes to the 2022 general elections. So, what do we say? You're waiting to see the reaction of William Samoei Ruto, who is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He has not spoken since this chaos started. Alex, and of course, I want to welcome you and you give us your strong views about Gachagua impeachment. Do you support it? And what do you think led to this breakdown of the very strong relationship between Gachagua and Ruto?
So for me, I do support the Gashagua's impeachment motion, but I don't think he's the only person to be impeached. He should be impeached together with the president so that they both go home. And first of all, people right now across the internet and on the ground, many people are saying Gachagua is tribal. Yes, it's true he is tribal because we have seen him running to the people of Mount Kenya every time telling us wasiguze mrima, wasiguze mrima, wasiguze mrima. And it has become a meme in the nation. Yo, usiguze mrima. So it's a I see it as a blackmail, trying to blackmail the president, saying that we are the ones who put you there. You couldn't be there without our votes. And second of all, the president is also tribal by action. Sasa for Rigiji is tribal by mouth. The president is tribal by action, because if you look at like all of the farms in the country, they are being run by the Kalenjins. And not that I have anything against the Kalenjins, but you can't tell me that they're the only competent people who are running all the farms in the country. You see, so it's a tribal thing. And second of all, there is something Bonnie which Senator Okiya Mtata said some few weeks ago. There is no need of doing away with the pickpocketer and keeping the robber. We should do away with both of them if we want to have a nation that is free from the thieves. And also to add on that, there is something which also Senator Onyonka spoke about on Citizen, and he was speaking about our leaders fighting over the loot. And it's something which has been big here in Kenya for the last 20 to 30 years. We have politicians who are fighting over loot here and there, here and there, here and there. So when you don't eat from the loot, that's when you come out to complain, and you start throwing darts at your opponents here and there. And also there is something also, Bonnie, which Jeremiah Kioni spoke about, which also is my conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is this is just a script to take away to to distract Kenyans from the fact that they want some bills to be passed in the parliament. And like this impeachment motion will go on for a while, for a while, for a while. Then at long last, the deputy president won't be impeached, and the president will come out and will speak to the people, and he will say it's wrong for them to try and impeach the deputy president, and like he will come out as a savior, so that the people will see that so in PR it's called spinning. He's going to spin things around to come out as if he's the one coming to save the deputy president, and then they will be back together and start campaigning and saying they're uniting Kenyans, mobilize people in their tribes to go and vote for them to be in power in 2027. So for me, I think both of them have to be impeached for us to start rebuilding the nation. So we can't do away with Rigiji and keep Ruto. And Bonnie, my final question is we always speak about Kibaki's good governance in the past. So and venye tulikuwa tunasema when we speak about Kibaki's government being good, we don't even mention the deputy president. So meaning the elephant in the room is the president, not even the deputy. Thank you.
That is Alex saying that both should go and both should leave the leadership and give space to Kenyans. Buru, I want to pose this question to you. Do you really think that Ruto is trying hide and seek game so that he can capture the attentions of Kenyans, and then by year 2026 you shall just come back and say that we are good with the Rigiji and we are now going for 2027 election? Do you think that there is that game between Gachagua and Ruto, as Kenyans have been saying?
No, there is no game. And I don't think Gachagua is the kind of a person who would entertain such kind of games. Gachagua by nature is someone who is a serious person. This is not someone who can sit down with someone and say, let us play games with Kenyans. And that is why people call Gachagua a truthful man. What is happening is that the president is finding it very difficult to work with someone who is extremely open and honest. He is so transparent. And I think to a larger extent, our president is opaque. He doesn't want to tell Kenyans the true positions, the true position of what is happening. He hides so many things. The government of Kenya, not just the government of William Ruto, the government in Kenya is known to have sirikali, deep secrets, secrets on how they award tenders, secret on how they conduct government business and all that. But Gachagua is so outspoken. Gachagua is not someone you can go and have a hidden deal. He is likely to talk about it. And I think the president is finding it so hard to work with such a person. This is someone who, after realizing there is a gap or a mistake even in the intelligence, he tells Kenyans, our intelligence is sleeping on the job. And even on what is happening with Dani and the airport, he is telling Kenyans, I'm not aware of what kind of game these people are trying to play. So the president is fighting it so hard because I think he is not someone who is so straightforward. But Gachagua is so straightforward to the extent that Kenyans have nicknamed him a truthful man. In the world today, Boniface, there is scarcity of honest men. And people who are honest and people who are truthful, they face very rough time. They go through hard time. For instance, you have had people saying that Gachagua is tribal. I want us to be honest and ask ourselves, what has Gachagua done that is so tribal? To me, it is nothing. There is nothing he has done. The only thing he has done, what people say through whispering and in the boardroom, for him, he is able to say on the broad daylight, on the cameras, that you see what? This government is like a company whereby you have shares. Those with more shares, they get more positions. Those with few shares, they get few positions. Is that tribal? No. He just said a statement of facts and truth. That is why in the positions that the president was supposed to appoint people, he appointed the people who believed in him, people who campaigned for him, and people who voted for him. That is why in the government of William Ruto, you'll find that there are many people from Rift Valley and people from Central Kenya, because to a larger extent, those are the people who supported the agenda or who supported the president to become the president. That is, in simple terms, that is what Gachagua meant, that when it comes to appointing those people who supported the government, they'll get more positions. Was Gachagua appointing anybody? No, he just spoke. He just told Kenyans the truth. Now, between Gachagua, who spoke and said a government operates like this, which is truth, even in America or any other place. If today Trump becomes the president, the people who are supporting Kamala Harris, they won't be the government of, including ambassadors. They won't be in the government of Trump. Trump will form his government with the people who believe in him. And that is exactly what Gachagua said. Does that make him tribal? No, that makes him a truthful person who is telling people in the next government, if you want to be involved, be calculative and make sure, if you want to be involved, especially in the executive, those appointive positions, make sure that you're in the government so that you can have your people or the people that supported that government to be there. For instance, you cannot put an attorney general from a party that did not support you. You cannot put the people who don't believe in you in those appointive positions because they are likely to sabotage you. That is exactly what Gachagua was saying. So I don't want to keep on defending that, but people took that, decided to distort that information to mean that Gachagua is tribal. Now, Gachagua did not appoint anybody. In fact, he said it, that he was not involved when it came to appointing. The appointing authority is the president. Now, between the person who told Kenyans the truth and the person who decided we're going to have more Kikuyus, more Kalenjins in the government, who is tribal? Is it Gachagua who just told Kenyans the truth? Or is it the one who implemented that?
Both.
To me, the person who
both.
is tribal is the president because he is the appointing authority. Apart from that, I want to say this. I don't think we have the luxury of time to waste. We have already wasted a lot of time. Remember, after Ruto became the president, we wasted time with the fight between him and Raila party, the Azimio side. We wasted a lot of time. After that, we had now the Gen Z. We wasted a lot of time. Now we have now started another season of wasting time trying to impeach the president, the deputy president. How is that going to benefit the common mwananchi? How is that going to, even if Alex or Boniface, you become the deputy president, how is that going to help the common mwananchi? How is that going to help the economy? If anything, the time we are wasting, like now, this public participation, it is using millions of money. Who is funding the public participation forum? It is the same government using our taxes. All those sittings that will be going on, it is all about wastage of money and time for the economy. So what we are doing, it is harmful to the country. There is nothing that the president has been wanting to do and Gachagua has sabotaged. There is nothing the president has told the deputy president to do. And I'm not saying this because Gachagua must be there because he's a Kikuyu like me. What I'm saying is, it is petty. It is petty. For us to impeach the deputy president, there should be that serious or gross misconduct. If we are honest, there is no gross misconduct. Or we don't, the allegations they are putting forward, they cannot reach the threshold. If we are honest enough, yes, the president has the numbers because the opposition has joined him. Now he feels he is so powerful. Now he even don't care about those people who stood with him. That's a big mistake. You have to look at, have I, as the president, delegated duties to my deputy, and he has failed to execute the duties I've given him? I haven't heard the president complain that I have given the president the duties and he has refused to do it. That is one of the gross misconduct. However, If they feel that he should go, I am saying this, choices have consequences. We as the common people, we are going to suffer because our economy will continue to stagnate. It is the whole exercise is not helping anybody. Apart from that, William Ruto, to me, he has made politically, this is a political mistake. And you see it within the shortest time possible, most probably in 2027. You see the kind of rough time he will face. Thank you.
Jeff,
Yeah, thank you so much,
I have a
Bur.
question for you.
Alex, you had a question. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Jeff, you said Rigathi is a truthful man. Do you know in the 2 years he has been in office, he has improved his net worth by 5 billion? So which businesses has the truthful man been doing to improve his net worth by 5 billion? Knowing that there are financial experts who are saying that if you start a business with 2 million, it's difficult to make even 50,000 a month. So which business is he doing to improve his net worth by 5 billion?
Yeah. I think Buru amesikia hiyo swali. Anakuwa anakuja kujibu after hii speech yake hapa Cleophas Malala.
And I want to address the President of the Republic of Kenya, my party leader, with a lot of respect. I am not qualified to advise you, Mr. President. Lakini nisikize tu, you have a choice. Kwamba hawa watu ambao unataka kutumia kutoa naibu wako wa rais ambaye alisimama na wewe, unaweza kuwa unadhania you are impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. Kumbe umeanza safari yako ya kujitoa kwa kiti wewe mwenyewe. The same people wenye wanaleta motion na naambiwa kwamba wamechagua Junet Mohamed na Kaluma. Hawa watu wawili wataanza na kutoa naibu wako. But I want to assure you, hao watu in 2027 watakutoa wewe kama rais. Mimi nakuomba tafadhali, please, kama watoto wako, call your house to order. Don't punish Rigathi Gachagua. Huyu mzee aliumia. Rigathi Gachagua aliaibishwa mbele ya watoto wake. Alifungwa kwa sababu yako wewe William Ruto. Tunakuomba kama baba yetu, don't be inhuman. Don't be inhuman. And I'm speaking to you as your Secretary General. Thank you.
Now, Alex, you can now ask Buru that question after that speech from Cleophas Malala.
Okay, as I was saying, Bonnie, Jeff has said Rigathi is a truthful man. So I was saying Rigathi has improved his net worth by 5 billion within the 2 years he has been in power. And financial experts are saying if right now you start a business with 2 million, it's difficult to generate benefit of 50,000 in a month. So what is he doing to improve by 5 billion? And mind you, he's not a technocrat.
So that question is posed to me. You
Yes.
see, you are asking a question that cannot be verified because I don't know who did the audit to Rigathi Gachagua's wealth.
He spoke about it recently in Citizen,
no,
so it's not something
that
it's not
just
a conspiracy,
propaganda.
Jeff. It's not a
That
conspiracy.
is no. Listen,
It's not a conspiracy. He spoke about
You see,
his net worth being
okay. No.
the internet recently.
Let
So
me
you're
talk.
just digressing. When you come to this platform, we have to be objective. If it's true,
You see,
then the truthful
when you
man
ask
is
a
lying.
question, it is only civil that when you ask a question, you be patient enough to let the other person talk. Don't interject. This is what I have to say. that whatever is happening right now, there is a lot of propaganda. And I also listened to Gachagua when he was talking about that. And he has not said that his wealth has increased with 5 billion. If anything, nobody has done an audit, a professional audit, and has told us that this is the statement of facts. So we say, even in law, you should not just be fair. You should be seen to be fair. Don't just put people on the court of public opinion simply because someone is in fire. Now you want to increase firewood and now start throwing anything that you hear in the media there. Right now, you hear a lot of propaganda. And unless something has been investigated, audit has been done, and Gachagua has been found guilty of all these things. We have heard about the allegation about Gachagua and tribalism, but now these new things, they are just things they are trying to cook to taint. You know, in Kenya, what we do, we make our politics to be very dirty. That if I don't, or if I want to fight with Boniface, I must smear Boniface with mud. Yani akitoka hapo akae matope. We can say anything in Kenya about someone without caring the harm we are doing to that person. This is what I can say. Nobody has done an audit, a professional audit of Rigathi Gachagua, and nobody has proved beyond reasonable doubt that indeed within the 2 years, he has increased his wealth to 5 billion. To me, that is just an allegation, and it has not been proved by anybody. And I didn't hear, I listened to the deputy keenly. The only thing he said that when he came to the government, he was not a poor person. And the fact that someone is wealthy does not mean he has stolen. People get wealthy. I know of people who are very rich than Rigathi Gachagua, yet they are not in the government. It is not an offense to have money because you're in the government. However, for me, I condemn any kind of corruption, but I desist from accusing people when I don't have facts with me.
You still haven't answered the question. You have just dilly-dallied. You have tried to play around,
Now,
but
who
you
do
haven't
want me
answered
to
the
answer?
question.
This is what
And
I have
also,
told you. You don't
mind
have
you,
facts.
Jeff,
I cannot answer what you cannot substantiate. Do you have any professional? Do you have any legal document? Has Gachagua been accused and proved guilty of what you're
see,
talking
Jeff,
about?
listen.
That is something I cannot discuss in the show. Let us
Jeff,
discuss substance, not allegations, not
Jeff,
hearsay.
listen. Jeff, the fact that we have never seen Ruto stealing money, or we can't substantiate, we doesn't mean we can't dispute the fact that he steals money from Kenyans. Okay, we will just be turning a blind eye. That's what you are doing. You are turning a blind eye. And let me tell you also something. I spoke about Trump saying when he's in office, the people who supported Kamala Harris won't benefit. Let me tell you, when Kibaki and Huru came into power, both of them, they said they will cater to Kenyans regardless of whether you voted for them or not. And those are the leaders we want. So when you come to this platform, we have to be objective.
What do you mean by being objective, Alex?
We have to say the truth the way it is. You see, for him, is being subjective.
So, Alex, I don't like argument that cannot be substantiated. You are not basing your argument on anything. It's just hearsay on the media. That is not I'm here to discuss. I'm here to discuss facts.
It's
That
not
is it.
hearsay, because if you watch
So,
the don't
those
watch
allegations
just the small
are
interview
propaganda.
on
You know, I will
Citizen.
not
Watch
discuss
the full
propaganda.
interview.
You know, I will not
You
discuss
have to do
propaganda.
full research.
I will not
It's not
discuss
propaganda.
stories from nowhere. We are here to discuss facts. That's what I do.
And also
So
be objective, not just facts, and also be
you see,
objective.
maybe you can keep your question until when you have the facts, until when you can substantiate what you are saying, until when the deputy president will be maybe proved guilty, that is the time we can say this person is corrupt. But so far, nobody has taken the deputy president to court. Nobody has prosecuted the deputy president. Those are just hearsay, and I cannot discuss that. Thank you. Kimanzi, let's proceed.
At the entrance of Parliament.
Yeah. Thank
When
you,
that
thank you so
happened,
much.
You were the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. What responsibility do you take?
I pronounce myself on the matter.
Please give me an answer.
No, what answer do you want me to give you? I said what I thought about the matter. The answer is in my statement.
And you're here. That was June.
No, but
26th.
I'm saying the statement
it
is
okay to repeat it.
No. Why do you want me to repeat it?
Because I'm asking
you
the
have
question.
you have it in your archives. My answer to what happened is in my statement.
Why don't you want to talk about this?
But I said where the blame lies. The statement is there. Why do you want me to go into it? I said. I have not recanted that statement. I still stand by it. So go and look at the statement.
Why don't you want to talk about this?
I don't want to go into it.
Because?
Because I don't think it is necessary. Because my statement was very explicit.
Over 60 families are still waiting.
But my statement was very explicit.
For answers.
I made myself
No action has been taken against any police officer. Are you bothered by that?
You know whom you need to ask that question.
I'm asking
who is supposed to take the action?
Sorry?
Who is supposed to take the action?
You tell me.
You know.
Who?
What are you saying? What do you want me to tell you? You know I'm the deputy president.
Exactly.
You know who is supposed to take action against police officers. Go and ask them that question.
Who? You tell me.
You know.
Who?
What are you saying? What do you want me to tell you? You know I'm the deputy president.
Exactly.
You know who is supposed to take action against police officers. Go and ask them that question.
Who?
You know.
I wish you could tell me the answer.
No, I'm not. Why do you want me to help you to do your research?
I don't want you to help me. Just respond.
Yeah, that is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya when he was speaking together with the Citizen Television, and he was answering some of the questions. And I can also see some Gitugo trying to force him to answer the questions, and it's like the deputy president is not willing to answer the question. And I'm here trying to weigh what Buru has said and what Alex is saying. Alex is saying that for the last 2 years, the profit of William Gachagua has really increased. And yet, Buru here is saying that it is not even substantiable what Alex is saying. Buru, I want to start with you. And before Buru answers, Alex, I want to start with you. Do you think that Gachagua is very honest, such that he can say everything that holds his life in terms of wealth, in terms of his honest, in terms of knowing the secrets of the government, in terms of anything that concerns the government? Do you think that he can reveal the secrets from what you have heard during the interview? Because he even revealed that he had no intention to withdraw the government of William Ruto, and also he is also speaking about the current situation in the government, whereby he's being accused of a lot of things. Do you think this is true?
First of all, Bonnie, I want to say yes, he is a truthful man, but he's not entirely truthful. He's not entirely truthful, because if he is entirely truthful, where was he to speak about the police brutality during the Gen Z protest? Where was he to speak out when bodies were being thrown in Kware? Where was he to speak out when people were being abducted? So where was he to speak the truth at that time? He was quiet, or he didn't have the facts to speak the truth.
Buru, what is your take? What is the take about Gachagua?
You see, this is what I can say. We say everything has a reason. There is a reason why Kenyans call William Ruto a liar. And there is a reason why Kenyans have nicknamed Rigathi Gachagua a truthful man. If I am to pose a history question, I would say Rigathi Gachagua is a truthful man. Then I'll tell you, discuss. If you are a historian or a student of history, that question is two-sided. You say to what extent is Rigathi Gachagua a truthful man? To answer that question, I will tell you, to a greater extent, Rigathi Gachagua is a truthful man. And for that reason, Kenyans have nicknamed him a truthful man, an aspect or a character that is very scarce in the politics of Kenya. So that is why such a person must fight it very hard to be accommodated by other politicians. As much as people would like to say that Rigathi Gachagua is corrupt, I would like those people with evidence, those people who have concrete evidence that this man is corrupt. Can you take that evidence where evidence is supposed to be taken? Because in Kenya, we are used to discuss, just to talk things, to cook figures, to taint people, to put on allegations on people. And we tend to, to run away with it. And sometimes we persecute people who are innocent. So for me, I say here, there is a reason why people say William Ruto is a thief. There is a reason why they say William Ruto is a liar. There is also a reason why they say Rigathi Gachagua is a truthful man. When people were accusing Gen Zs of being sponsored by I don't know who, I don't know Ford what, Ford company, I don't know Uhuru Kenyatta. When people were trying to say that the Gen Zs, the protests were being sponsored by people, Rigathi Gachagua came out and told the president and the Republic of Kenya that apart from Gen Zs, Kenyans are not happy. So he told the president
Where
and the government,
facts?
please, let me finish
Where
what
are
I'm
those
saying.
facts?
Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm
Can
not
you
here
finish?
to argue.
Relax, Alex. You're going to
Maybe
respond.
you don't know my personality, my friend. I'm not here to argue with you in whatever. I'm here to make my discussion, my submission. You make yours. I'm not here to argue with you, my friend. So let me just talk. I don't keep on exchanging. That's not me. So this is what I was saying, that in Kenya, people are not used to someone who comes out and says the statement of facts. If anything, the president and his team would have wished that Rigathi Gachagua sides with them and condemn the Gen Zs. He came out and said, no, these are our children. They are dissatisfied with how we are doing things. He told the president and the government, please listen to these young people. They are our children. We should listen to them. To that extent, and this is just one of the examples, I can say the Rigathi Gachagua is a truthful man. After he stood with the Gen Zs, because they didn't want him to get the credit, they started saying, oh, you see, he is the sponsor. You see, that is where now you can see in our country, Kenya, people don't want to be told the truth. Because apart from the Gen Zs, Kenyans at large, right now I'm in Kenya, Kimanzi, I have seen the suffering of the people. I have gone to supermarkets that with 5,000, you cannot even have a full basket of items. 5,000 is nothing in Kenya. With 10,000, you don't have enough shopping for a month. I mean, it is very serious. And those are the things that the government is supposed to concentrate on. I mean, the value of commodities in Kenya, the price is the same as in America. And you know, in America, we have the power of the dollar. I've been trying to translate, this is how much in America, and this is how much in Kenya. And I can tell you for sure, it is by the grace of God that Kenyans are surviving. There is a big problem. And I'm saying this as someone who supported the government. That something ought to be done. We don't have time to keep on fighting. Regarding Gachagua being impeached, I don't know Ruto. And also I want to ask those people who are saying they should go, both of them. Which motion have you taken to parliament? So that says you want to impeach the president and the deputy president. You know, we have the category of people who just talk for the sake of it. When it comes to impeachment, it is a legal matter. And you should have a legal framework. There is a process to be followed. I have heard people saying, hey, they should go, I don't know, kufa makanga. Okay, hiyo tu ni kuogea, but it has no consequences because nothing has been tabled in parliament to impeach the president. The motion we have is for the deputy. So kushida mukisema sijui wote wawili waende, it won't help anyone. So what we should do is to say, do we want Rigathi Gachagua to remain or to go? So Kenyans are misfiring that question because the motion is not about William Ruto. The motion is about Rigathi Gachagua. So are they answering the question that they are being asked? The answer is no. So they are failing to a greater extent. So wacheni kushida mukisema waende wote wawili. There is no bill for both of them. The motion we have is, do you want Rigathi Gachagua to go or to remain? As simple as that. Kimanzi, where are you going? Alex, you can proceed.
Now, me, I have nothing to say.
So, as we are waiting for Kimanzi to come, this is what I want to say, that I never expected that at any given time, William Ruto can go that low as to start fighting with the deputy for no good reason. You know, if there is that good reason, I think the people of Kenya would be saying, it is true, this guy should go because of ABCD. But now the only allegation that is there, it is that Gachagua has been talking so much about Central Kenya. And you know, Gachagua is a politician. By the time Gachagua was becoming the deputy president, he had not solidified his votes in Mount Kenya around him. What Gachagua has been trying to do is to build himself politically. And you know, in Kenya, our voting, we base on regions most of the time. The people of Nyanza, it is automatic. They vote for their Raila Odinga because they see Raila Odinga as one of them. When you go to where Kimanzi comes from, they vote for Kalonzo because Kalonzo is one of them. When you go to Central Kenya, we were voting for Uhuru Kenyatta because we perceived Uhuru Kenyatta as one of them. That is the fact. That is how Kenyans vote. So regarding Gachagua has been trying to show the Central Kenya people, you see, I am concerned about you. You see, I am fighting for you so that they may back him politically. He was just trying to build himself. Not that he has anything against anybody from any tribe. If anything, I've never had regarding Gachagua ill-discuss other tribes. I've never had regarding Gachagua say anything about the Luo, anything negative about the Luo community. I've never had him discuss any other community. The only thing he has been saying is that for him, he is fighting for one man, one shilling, one vote. What is wrong with that? But we have to distort that to make him look so bad that this guy is so tribal. The only thing he is doing is just trying to build himself politically. Remember, this was a one-term MP. Actually, before 20, I don't know, 20 what? I just came to know Rigathi Gachagua not even 2 years ago, around 2 years ago. Let me say around 3 years ago. Nobody, most people, apart from where he came from, most people never knew Rigathi Gachagua in Central Kenya. But you can see up now, he has really tried to build himself politically. People know him. He is entering into people's hearts. That is what he is trying to do, just to solidify his votes from his backyard. That does not mean that this guy is against the Kambas, is against other tribes. The only thing he is trying to do is to show the people, you see, I can fight for you, just like Uhuru was fighting for you, so that we don't feel like in Central Kenya there is a gap. I don't think politically there is any mistake. Raila Odinga has really built himself in Nyanza. Kalonzo Musyoka has built, if anything, in our African saying, we say that what? Charity begins from where? From home. You won't expect me to be supported in Mombasa 100% when people from where I come from, none of them supports me. If anything, I'll be a very weak person, a very weak candidate or politician. That is why our politicians, they start from home before they go to other regions. And that is what Rigathi has been doing. Rigathi Gachagua supported William Ruto. And he knew very well that this William Ruto is not a Kikuyu. Is that a tribal person? Yet we had Mwaore, who is a Kikuyu. You would have said, oh, in Central we have 4 million votes. You have a presidential candidate. We are going to support him. But he said no. Regarding Gachagua, he was a right-hand man of Uhuru Kenyatta. But he defied Uhuru Kenyatta and went to support William Ruto, who is not from his tribe. So as much as we say this guy is a tribal person, let us not just bribe the follow what politicians are saying, because the truth is they are afraid that Rigathi Gachagua is gaining ground in Central Kenya, which they didn't want. They wanted a weak deputy president who is not supported by the people from his region. Thank you, Kimal.
Thank you so much, Buru. And of course, I think, Alex, do you have something to add on that? Or are you acting contrary to what Buru has said? I have heard you trying to comment.
So Bonnie, let me say first of all, politics is about perception. People have to feel like they're in power. And let me say, this impeachment motion is wide. You can choose to look at it with a broken spectacle if you want to portray a narrative that suits your ideology. But here on this platform, we advocate for politics of policies and meritocracy than ethnicity. And that is the dream for this country, to reach a place where policy sells instead of ethnicity. And I believe this is what the platform advocates for. And we stand on integrity rather than on tribes. And let me also say, it doesn't matter your political affiliations. But when you step on this platform, it's like we're out of the story. So we have to say the facts the way they are. That's what I can say.
That is Alex. And of course, if you are joining this conversation for the first time, remember this is your #1 channel, Afrique24. You are following us in the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, formerly Twitter, now known as X. You can join us and give us your thoughts about the impeachment motion of Rigathi Gachagua. Riggy G, do you support the impeachment of Riggy G? Or do you think that there is chaos inside the government whereby the deputy president and his boss, Ruto, they are having some differences in this government? Some of the close friends of William Ruto, and of course, William Ruto does not speak. He always speaks indirectly. Some of the close friends of William Ruto, the likes of Kapsaret MP Oscar Sudi, the likes of Dismas Baraza, the likes of Senator Cherargei, the likes of Kimani Chungwa. Those are the close friends of William Ruto. Whenever you see them speaking, this is a direct communication from William Samoei Ruto. Let's take a listen to what some of them had to say during some of their campaigns and
Nyinyi mmesikia muona
the
kama
motion debate
yule Rigathi
about
Gachagua
Gachagua impeachment.
ambaye alibarikiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu akakuwa naibu rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, lakini wakati tulikuwa hapa Bungoma na rais na Papa wa Roma akaamka akaambia rais wa nchi ya Kenya kwamba tunakushukuru kwa kupatia kazi vijana wetu, lakini akamwambia kwa Kiingereza that I want to pull an Oliver Twist. We appreciate what you have given us but we want more. Yule Rigathi Gachagua aliamka na kujibu Papa wa Roma akaambia Speaker Moses Wetangula kwamba kulingana na kura ambayo tulipigia Rais William Ruto, yale ambayo tumepata hapa Bungoma imetosha na hakuna kitu kingine ambayo tumepata. Leo nasimama hapa kuambia watu ya Bungoma kwamba ile mipango yetu ya kufufua factory ya Nzoia na barabara nyingi ambazo zimekwama, Misiku Brigadier ikiwemo, yule ambaye alikuwa anasambaratisha ile mipango ni Rigathi Gachagua, naibu rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na sisi tumesema yule Rigathi Gachagua, kazi ni nyingi, masaa ndiyo machache. Hivi karibuni hatatembea, ataondoka kwa kukimbia. Hatakimbia peke yake, atakuwa anakimbia hatua 5, anaangalia nyuma, kisha anaongeza mwendo kasi, anaenda mbio mbio akielekea kijijini mwake, because the country doesn't require a tribal deputy president. It requires a deputy president who will unite every part of our country regardless of whether they voted for our government or they never voted for our government.
Yes, that is Dismas Baraza saying masaa ndio machache, muda haupo tena. Gachagua must go. Buru, before I go to Buru, Alex, do you agree with those words? Or do you think that there is a close relationship between those allies of William Ruto and what they speak during the campaigns or any forum whereby there is a congregation?
As I said before, these people are just fighting over the loot. For me, I don't see the difference between Azimio, Kenya Kwanza. All those people are the same people. So even if I hear something from Didmas Baraza saying that Gachagua must go or anything, for me, I just see it as, okay, like there's no difference if you remove him and even put Kindiki, nothing will change in the country. You see? But for what needs to stop, which is deeply rooted in this country, is fighting over the loot.
I think you give us a signal when you finish. Maybe we could think that you have lost our network. Buru, of course, you have listened to what Dismas said about Gachagua. Do you think that there is some relationship between what these close friends of Ruto say, the likes of Baraza, and the likes of Cherargei?
I would not like to discuss someone like Didmas Baraza because he cannot pass the integrity test to discuss someone of the caliber of the deputy president. If Kenya was a serious nation with a serious government, some of these characters are supposed to be behind bar. And they are free to say anything. But I can tell you, those are empty talks that politicians say simply because they have been given a chance or because they are holding the microphone. They want to make the electorate happy without thinking of the consequences of the things they say. I would like to advise our president, though I'm not qualified, to advise him, but as a critical thinker, I would say don't underestimate your deputy president and don't start the fire that you don't know how you are going to put it off. The moment you start the bushfire, it can take any direction. If there are people who have been having crashes in this nation, there are two tribes, the Kikuyus and the Kalenjins. For many years, they have been having very serious differences. And with the coming of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto together, the rift and the gap that was there had started to close. These two tribes had started working together closely, politically. They had started forgetting their past, and it was a very good thing for the country. So the old wood that was there is what William Ruto is trying to revive. There is a clip that goes on that shows William Ruto saying that if there are people who have big difference with Kikuyus, are the Kalenjins. When I see William Ruto supporting people to fight his deputy, the guess, because I have heard people talking, the guess that people are having in their hearts is, oh, so these people, they still have problems with us. We thought that our past differences had gone. So it is true, this person has a problem with us. So this is what I'm saying. There was a reason why William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta had come together, and their coming together had healed the nation, especially on the tribal animosity that was there. The only thing that I would have hoped is that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua would have continued to work together, and even if they are to part ways, let them part ways on the ballot, or in 2027, William Ruto can say, I am dropping Rigathi, I am taking another person. But how the direction they are taking, that fire they have started, it might take tribal direction, which is very dangerous. I've been listening to people, and what people are saying, oh, these Kalenjins, they are not good people. You see, we have supported them. You see what they are doing to Rigathi Gachagua. It is not Gachagua they are targeting. They are targeting this community. You know, all that it is because of speculation, because there is nothing substantive that Gachagua has done to warrant what he is going through. If anything, he deserves to be commended by the president for the work he did to campaign for him vigorously, to suffer, even to be jailed, even to use his money to campaign for him, even to defy his good friend Uhuru Kenyatta to support him. You know, that kind of betrayal, it makes the region feel very bad, because people have a lot of speculation. What is going on? This guy want to punish our community. I'm telling you, as someone who listens to what people are saying. So it is my prayer that William Ruto will have a broader perspective to see the direction that the fight between him and the deputy, to see where that direction is likely to take the nation. Apart from that, I want to say this, that I think also William Ruto does not want a deputy president who can question anything. He wants whatever he says to go through. And I know Rigathi Gachagua is not that kind of a person. If you have brought an investor in Kenya, like now the person who wants to lease our airport, I know Rigathi Gachagua would want to know why this person and why have you made this decision. I don't think it's a bad thing for the country. It's good to have a strong deputy who can advise you and who can question you. But I think the character of our president, and I have heard many people, even some of their advisors, complaining that you cannot tell him anything. His word is the one which goes. Whatever he says, you just need to implement what he has said. That is not a good character of a president. Let him start listening to his advisors. Let him also listen to the ground. What are people saying? Right now, people are going for this public participation. The president should be aware that the Kenyans, the electorate, the common mwananchi is not happy with what is happening. Finally, I want to say this. William Ruto is also becoming arrogant to those who supported him because he has gotten the support from Raila Odinga. A mistake that Uhuru Kenyatta made. Now he feels that, oh, now I'm very strong because he thinks in 2027, Raila Odinga is going to give him all his votes. He is going to support him. He is not asking himself, what if Raila Odinga fails to become the AU chair and he decides, I'm going to remain. I'm not also, what if he decides, I'm not going to support you? So he should be very careful. Let him not mistreat the people who supported him. And I'm saying this. I feel so bad, Kimanzi. Is it so hard for Raila Odinga to be in the same government with Gachagua and William Ruto? What is so hard? And this is the question I was asking. Was it so hard for Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and William Ruto to work together? Even now, I want to tell William Ruto, don't start mistreating your deputy simply because you have gotten another person. Look for a method which you can use to work with all of them. They are all Kenyans. You need all of them. It is, don't build one bridge and break another bridge. That is not wisdom. That is not knowledge. Sit down with your team. Come up with a method. Oh, the opposition has come. They have decided to work with us. Can we now come up with a method that all of us together, we can work harmoniously for the better, for the betterment of our country? These fights, they only delay our economy. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, that is a very wonderful submission from Geoffrey Buru. For a long time, he has finally appeared to the screen. I can see Kevin Wesonga has joined us. Penny Nyagaka, welcome to Africa 24. And I want to start with Penny Nyagaka. Penny Nyagaka, welcome to Africa 24, and give us your thoughts about Gachagua impeachment. Do you support the impeachment of the DP, and why do you take any direction?
Thank you very much, Kimanzi, for giving me the opportunity. My friend Jeff Buru, I don't know where he has been. That's who brought me to the show. I was listening in the background, lakini kuona Jeff mimi nasikia mzuri sana. Sasa wacha niseme ya kwamba Kimanzi, this is the height of stupidity. Yani ile kitu ambayo nasema mbaya sana ni stupidity. Because when we wrote the Constitution 2010, it was after a long fight, a long debate, and we copied the American model. There is no way in a third world country with the institutions being so weak in as far as the legislature, the court system being so weak, to have everybody in one basket. Hiyo ndio ushenzi ambao some of us are ashamed deeply for supporting somebody like Ruto. This guy, one wonders where he get the advice from. Kimanzi, some of us grew up in the 80s when he was really beating us up in the markets and everything. And when we supported him in 2022, 2021, we thought this guy has changed. You cannot stay in one place forever. What I'm saying today is not what I would say 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now. I would have changed it a little bit. Sasa wengine tulimpatia. Sasa one wonders who gives this guy advice. Kama mtu kama huyu umesema huyu nani huyu wa Western ambao he wears a red hat. He kills somebody. How can somebody who is a murderer and is in parliament be the advisor, the chief advisor of anybody? Hii ni ushenzi ule mbaya. And I can give you, Kimanzi, for example, of countries which have large parties that are running the country very well. One is in Japan. Since 1945, they have already won. Those are only ones in the 1994 and the 2 years. That was it. But look at the institutions of Japan. Look at South Korea. The same thing. Their president is in jail because their institutions are strong enough. Look at Germany. The same way. but the institutions are strong. We are a third world country. We are growing. And personally, I really believe in somebody like who Rigathi Gachagua. When he said he was not going to resign, I agreed with him 100%. Now, kwa hii mtandao in debates like this, people were saying that Kama is not going to resign, he's going to be branded like Waititu, like Zonko, and all those. Those are people who made mistakes, and they was proven in court and everywhere. This guy has never done anything. Ile tu amefanya baya ni questioning what the Ruto government is doing, where they're selling everything that matters to the Kenyans. And some of us do not support these guys to be selling everything Kenya has. And there is no country. Kuna mzee mwingine kutoka kwa alisema, we don't even know where this guy came from. It is very true. This must be a Tanzania, a Ugandan or somebody who has imposed himself in Kenya. Kimazi waje nimalizie kusema kwamba there was a friend of mine from West Africa wamenitumia hizi videos ya hii wakati alikuwa New York, Ruto. And I told them, if you have my phone, don't send me this kind of garbage. It's a high, and this is a president of Africa, this and that. He gives very good speeches. He talks very well, but it doesn't mean anyone he's talking about. So the earlier he leaves, the better. Na vile Jeff Rigathi amesema atatoka, kudos, thank you, don't leave, because these are institutions that have to be changed. These are clauses in our constitution that have to be taken to challenges. But we are not going to go there because you saw what happened in Lake Kimasi everywhere in Kenya. Watu walikataa, sio in the mountains peke yake, in the Rift Valley kwao watu walikataa. Everywhere people say no, kuva makanga, kuva driver, and those are very good words. Wengine tunafikiri kutengeneza t-shirts watu wawe wafanya namna hiyo, kuva makanga, kuva driver, and that's a very good. And I'm not saying Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua is a saint na kwa nini, lakini kwa nini huyu anataka kumtoa? And along the way he's selling the whole country. He's selling our airport about is used by the Kenya Air Force and the Kenyan aviation system. Why? Because of money that he want to put in his pocket. Kwa hivyo wacha nimalize, wengine watataka kusema maneno mbili tatu. Wacha nimalize kusema kwamba you saw what happened to Morara today, and you saw what he has turned out to be. Huyu Ruto, he has given everything to ODM. Some of us never supported ODM because we knew they were up to no good. They were not going anywhere. And you saw what they did today. They were nearly killing Morara. And we hope that it doesn't happen like that. But anytime Morara will take that guy out, anybody will take him out because he's just that naive. He has advisors wanamwambia nini? Kimazi, wacha nimalizie hapo kusema kwamba this guy, if he's taking anybody's advice, is not, hakuna mtu anamadvise. He's just that stupid. Asante sana Kimazi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Penny Nyagaka. And of course, I can see Kevin. Yeah, before I give Kevin a space to talk, I can see in the comment section, Awesome is very active. It seems that why is it very noisy when the leader is not from Central Region? We have had 20 years straight of Central Region leadership, and everything has remained quiet until Ruto came in.
Kimanzi,
What is going on?
I think you called me.
A little bit. Moi, in the comment section, someone is saying that Moi had the same problem now Ruto. History tells us during these two regimes, but one against one was observed. I think it will be, Awasam is also saying that I think it will be a mistake if Gachagua is retained. He must go. Otherwise, the Harugas will have been given more energy to destabilize the country. He's also saying that the problem is not the great people of the central region, but one individual who has a very bad appetite. Also saying that the great people of the central region have been put between a rock and a hard piece just because of an individual who has a problem with mouth. He speaks whenever he has a mic without thinking. Kevin, welcome to Africa 24, and of course you give us your views about Gachagua impeachment. Do you support this motion and why?
Thank you very much, Bonnie. I think it's high time that Kenyans have started seeing the sense in bad leadership and, of course, bad governance that we're having as a country. I know there's a television that even the president and the deputy president, both of them may probably be watching. But I always stand by the fact that William Ruto, as the president of the Republic of Kenya, was not the best person. I would even run Kenya better than William Ruto as the president. So he's doing things which are out of mind, no thoughts at all, quite incoherent. Very, I mean, he has a lot of faults in his mouth. There's a lot of falsehood. He lies again and again. You saw the other time there was a group of Kenyans who went to court to identify whether the president is insane or not. But of course, looking at all these things, that the faults he has made since he became the president, I would tell the president in his eyes that he's really cheating Kenyans. The other time you saw the Gen Zs, it's running all over the world because different countries are trying to copy what Kenyans did. But we started just by this, by telling Ruto, you are not doing the right thing. But he never listened to us in this television. But again, we are telling him that he's not doing anything for the Kenyans. He was voted, whether he was voted in or he rigged himself in, I would tell him that really, William Ruto, as the president of Kenya, you are doing nothing completely. If I'm to rate you, then you are doing 0%. On the impeachment of Gachagua, I see it may not happen because if Nakumincha did not leave, then who is Gachagua? He will not leave. So this is just political tantrums that we are trying to buy time. The Adani is there with us. So the Kenya Kwanza government is just trying to, shift the goalposts. Now the Kenyans are concentrating on the impeachment of the deputy president, which is not right. Look, the airport is leaving us. We are going to a lease program of 30 years, and then after that there is another. Of course, there's an agreement on that, which is going to delimit Kenyans owning the airport itself. So all these are just because we have a greedy president, we have a greedy deputy president, we have greedy members of parliament, and of course the Gen Z term that they are M dogs really states clearly that they are not members of parliament who represent the people. They're just there to eat, just like a dog in the market would be ready and willing to eat whatever it's thrown to. So if it's high time that the MPs can sit down and do credible job, yes, we can have a better Kenya. But if not the case, then of course you will see the likes of Morara getting it tough if they are opposing the government and trying to say this and this you promised, but it never worked, or you never fulfilled the promise. About today's occasion, I was quite unhappy to see ODM and of course the member of parliament for Waraka shouting his slangs down. That, I mean, it's a style of he likes it. It was so bad. Morara is a young Kenyan, very energetic. He's looking for a better Kenya. He wants system to work. He wants development for the people. Now all the universities in Kenya are shut down. No one is going to universities. And the other time, of course, you saw the secondary schools and primary schools were not going to school because of the teacher strikes. These are things that a president should not just see and watch what is happening. You saw the doctors the other time were sleeping on the roads, they were rioting. Systems are not working. Look at the economy, we've been cheated about the dollar rates. It's not working. Prices of goods are going up. things that the president should look into. We were promised infrastructure. Look at the stadiums, several stadiums per county. What we see, the reports that we see, is that there's a lot of stealing in the counties. So instead of looking at the problems in the parliament, the MPs or the members of parliament are looking into impeaching a deputy president who is just trying to say the truth about what is happening in a bad governance system of the president. I've always said again and again that this is not the best president that Kenya can ever have. If maybe I'm a youthful guy, if I can be, I can be flagged in and contest against him and Morara to be my deputy, then we can have a better Kenya. But this one, no, or anyone else. Uhuru Kenyatta, whenever he's listening as the president of Kenya, he should know that Kenyans are suffering, man. He should know that. So I'm very unhappy with him. I'm very unhappy with his leadership trends. And of course, all the MPs. Thank you so much. Back to you, Bonnie.
That is Kelvin. And of course, he's saying that he is very energetic. And if he runs for presidency, then he will work and perform more than William Samoei Ruto. Buru, you have heard your friend Penny Nyagaga speaking about the current government and his take
You
about
know,
Gachagua Impeachment. What do you have to say about
Kimanzi,
your friend Penny Nyagaga? And of course, he said that he joined the conversation because he saw you here today.
thank you so much, Nyagaka, for even coming and joining. I had also missed you so much together with Kevin. You know, it's funny
Buru, are you
that
there?
myself and Penny Nyagaka, we campaigned vigorously for this guy. Like I even did meetings. We did everything possible to make sure that William Ruto becomes the president. But I can tell you for sure, to a greater extent, he's disappointing. People make mistakes, and I have been. He has made so many mistakes, and I've been all the time. I've been saying he is going to change. He is going to realize the mistakes he is making, the bladder. But instead of rectifying, he is becoming worse every day. It's like someone who has been bewitched. Unajua kama mtu amerogwa anaweza kuwa anaenda kwa moto, you know, he continues to go to the fire, kama ile kipepeo inaruka kwa moto yenyewe. And that is what William Ruto is doing. By the time William Ruto was becoming the president of Kenya, he was so popular, and I disagree totally with people who says that he rigged. I know the kind of campaign that was done by UDA and the supporters across the world. I know the kind of work we did, and I can tell you for sure that guy won the elections. But he has been making some mistakes. As a supporter, I've been wishing and I've been praying that our president will change. Our president will realize that what he is doing, some decisions he is making are not very good. But each and every day he is making wrong decisions. I don't know what is going on. I wish he can change. And I want to say this. People are saying that Rigathi Gachagua is tribal because he is seen to be supporting Mount Kenya, or sometimes he talks about Mount Kenya. Why is it that when he was campaigning for William Ruto, and he didn't go to campaign for William Ruto in other regions as much, for him he camped in central Kenya because that is where his stronghold is. Why were people saying that this Gachagua is so tribal? He was not tribal then. But right now, because Chura ameshasaidiwa kuvuka mto, sasa mwenye alisaidia Chura anasema hana haja tena. I mean, I think it is wrong. Politics of deceit and betrayal in Kenya, it's very wrong. Yani mtu akusaidie like the way Gachagua, it is unbelievable. I don't know where you get the energy. I don't know where William Ruto is getting the energy to betray someone who worked tirelessly to make sure that he becomes the president. Someone who
Mburu,
used his money. Yes, please.
Mburu, let me remind you. You see, as we make these debates in this credible international and of course local Kenyan television,
Yes.
we need to give our viewers facts.
Yes.
And facts would be based on what we know about this.
Yes.
So one thing that is clear is that
Why don't you open the video, my friend?
it's not a must, because today I don't want William Ruto to see me.
I also want to see you.
No. So it may not be factual to say that it's only happening to Rigathi Gachagua. But even before it happened to William Ruto, and it was a way of popularizing himself against against Uhuru Kenyatta. By then, Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. So, in other words, it's just a trickery by the Kenyan politicians, of course, at the higher helm. So we may not know what is happening at the core, but as it is, it could be a popularization for the presidency of Rigathi Gachagua in 2032, which should not be the case. They should be working rather than campaigning for the next, for the next elections. And why I say it comes out, I feel like William Ruto rigged the elections is because he's not actually even implementing his manifesto. I don't know who stole the manifesto of William Ruto. I keep asking.
I think the Gen Zs went with it. Yeah, I know Kevin will come back.
I was someone saying in the comment section.
Yes. Go ahead, Kimanzi.
I think Kenyans, someone is saying that Kenyans never disappoint. I like how they want development to happen miraculously without paying more taxes or borrowing. We are in a country watched all over the world. That is awesome.
You see,
and also saying that it is, yeah.
That must be a support. That must be a supporter, a sound support.
Jeff,
you know,
let me answer that directly. Kwa sababu what Ozam is saying is, I would not even want to characterize it with anything, because you cannot borrow or tax people to steal and say that you're developing the country. That's an oxymoron. That's naivete of the first order. Or what wanaiba? How can you develop the country ukiiba? Thank you, tu nilikuwa nasema.
Asante Nyagaka. Nasema hivi Boni, we are not expecting William Ruto to perform any miracle. But at this point, after 2 years from the general elections, it is the expectation of the people who voted for him and Kenyans, everybody, because we all belongs to him right now. Our expectation is that right now the president and the government should be very busy implementing what they promised Kenyans. But they have been very busy wasting a lot of time with unnecessary fights. Tell me, Bonnie, of whose benefit is the impeachment of the deputy president? Who is benefiting? I can tell you, nobody. The government, it's just William Ruto. Because if we get someone like our good Professor Kidiki will never question the president on anything. He is a yes man. And that's the kind of a person that William Ruto wants. so that he can do whatever he wants. He don't want someone who will tell him, oh, President, remember, this is what you promised to do to the people. Remember this, someone, he even went to places and people, he told people to write the things they're expecting him to do when he becomes the president. Where is he getting this time to waste with this nonsense of impeachment? That we are going to take another 2-3 months asking whether Gachagua should go or should not go. Who is benefiting? How is the economy benefiting from that? The economy is losing. And this, as I have said, it might take another angle that might even lead to bloodshed. I mean, to me, I used to think, and I have always thought that William Ruto is someone who can be trusted. I have always thought that William Ruto is a man of dignity. I have always believed that William Ruto is a political genius, someone who is very smart, and someone who cannot make silly mistakes. Because you cannot say, as the president, you are fighting to unite the country, but you yourself, you start dividing the country. Because when you talk of Rigathi Gachagua, it is not about Rigathi Gachagua. He should be wise enough to know behind this one person, there are many, many people that in the moment you are seen fighting this one person, you are hurting those who believe in him. And those are the mistakes that our country make. I have seen people, even in Eldoret, telling the president, what you are doing is wrong. Just like we told Uhuru Kenyatta, this guy supported you. Why are you fighting him? And that is the same question the people of Central Kenya are telling the president. The people of Rift Valley are telling the president, Rigathi Gachagua supported you. Where are you getting the guts? Where are you getting the energy to fight those who have done good to you? He might not be perfect. Maybe he talks so much like me. It's a weakness, yes. But can we have tolerance? The other thing is the aspect of when you are not the president, you are very humble. William Ruto was so humble to everybody, to everyone. He had humility, but right now, arrogance of the highest order, pride. He cannot be told anything. He is at the top there. I mean, is it so hard for him to call Rigathi Gachagua? They take a cup of tea together and he tells him where he wants to rectify. I have been in leadership and I know it's not easy, but the moment I have a disagreement with you, Kimanzi, I'll call you in my office, we sit down and I tell you what I think you should rectify. But that should not mean we have to part ways because we are having differences. So I don't know where all these things are coming from. It's unfortunate for our country. It is not good for any one of us. It is hurting our economy. It is dividing people. It is bringing back the tribal animosity, which is very unfortunate for our country.
Jeffrey, Kimanzi, wacha niongeze kidogo.
Yeah.
Sasa, Jeffrey Mburu, thank you very much for reminding us of somebody like Kindiki. Kindiki is the most useless and naive persons that we have seen. The department he runs, internal security, is the highest thieving system. Ukienda Nyayo House, unaibiwa kutoka chini mpaka kwa maofisi, hakuna hata choo, hakuna anything. It's a beautiful building on the highway. I don't know whatever highway that is. Lakini ukienda ndani ni wizi beka yake. And it's somebody that everybody is saying that you should be the president. Ukienda kama mimi naenda huko Kisii, if you are going, nilikuwa huko Machu, use public transport, askari wanasimamisha, wanachukua hela hapa, wanasimamisha, wanachukua hela hapa. Ukienda kwa police station ya mtu ambayo you have any issues, wanakuambia wana mafuta, lazima ulipe kitu kidogo. And this is somebody that we could, Jeffrey, we could say that can be a vice president. Vice president of what? kwa sababu huyu nani Kindiki is the most useless person that I ever seen. Asa huyu Mumasai ambaye alifariki ama Saitoti, these were very active people. These were very strong people that ran the system the way it was supposed to be. Lakini huyu Kindiki na huyu Matiang'i waliharibu. They have really messed up the whole system of the governance of Kenya. Na lazima tuseme ukweli. Huyu Kindiki nani Masi ukisema hiyo nani kama is going to be impeached, lazima wote waende. It's not only one person that it goes. It is both of them. And the whole country has said so much. Kwa hivyo Jeffrey, huyu Kindiki wenu, some of us would never support somebody like that because he's sitting on a ministry that is the most corrupt in the whole system of Kenya. Asante sana.
And I want to address the President of the Republic of Kenya, my party leader, with a lot of respect. I am not qualified to advise you, Mr. President. Lakini nisikize tu, you have a choice. Kwamba hawa watu ambao unataka kutumia kutoa naibu wako wa rais ambaye alisimama na wewe, unaweza kuwa unadhania you are impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. Kumbe umeanza safari yako ya kujitoa kwa kiti wewe mwenyewe. The same people wenye wanaleta motion na naambiwa kwamba wamechagua Junet Mohamed na Kaluma. Hawa watu wawili wataanza na kutoa naibu wako. But I want to assure you, hao watu in 2027 watakutoa wewe kama rais. Mimi nakuomba tafadhali, please, kama watoto wako, call your house to order. Don't punish Rigathi Gachagua. Huyu mzee aliumia. Rigathi Gachagua aliaibishwa mbele ya watoto wake. Alifungwa kwa sababu yako wewe William Ruto. Tunakuomba kama baba yetu, don't be inhuman. Don't be inhuman. And I'm speaking to you as your Secretary General. Thank you.
Kelvin, I hope you have heard what Cleophas Malala said. Do you think that this impeachment motion can even get William Ruto into some of the risk come 2027?
Ruto will survive. Ruto will survive. He's a schemer. But you see, I saw Professor Kithure Kindiki before he came into politics. At some point, we worked together in one of the Kenyan universities. And the Kithure Kindiki, who was my colleague at the university, and by then I was a very junior staff, very, very junior, graduate assistant. Had very good ideas. You would listen to Kithure Kindiki, professor, and you'd feel like you are talking to 20 professors, and it's just one person. It's completely different than is a different Kithure Kindiki that we have today. So why would Kithure be taken to the Interior Ministry? It's just to popularize himself, get to know the county commissioners, get to know the assistant county commissioners, know the chiefs and the assistant chiefs, and then we bring in the impeachment motion, and then if it goes through, then you will become the deputy president. And if it fails, then we pick you up for 2027. You become my deputy. That is the vision of William Ruto. As I told you before, Rigathi Gachagua will survive if indeed Nakumincha survived the impeachment motion in Meru. And of course, even the other governors. So I feel he will survive. These are just political tantrums. And it's just something to buy time and see how the Adani agreement can be choreographed and put into place. And let's forget about the lost amount of money and who went to India, who didn't go, who signed what, which documents, as we cool down as well the Gen Zs who have been so cruel about this government. So let's bring in Rigathi Gachagua. He will survive. Put it in record in this show that Kevin Wasonga said Rigathi Gachagua will survive and he will come out stronger than William Ruto. And looking at Malala, yes, Rigathi Gachagua struggled. He was arrested, he was jailed and all that because of William Ruto. We don't disagree. But again, it's the same Malala who has been supporting the same William Ruto, who is doing menace and who is bringing tantrums in the Kenyan governance system. So Malala should as well talk to both of them together. You were voted in, if indeed you are voted in, as Buru says, this is what the Kenyans need, and this is your manifesto, implement your manifesto. Stop talking about the impeachment motions and all that. Let's see the NHIF, which is now getting choreographed into something different, which we don't understand. Let's have such kind of things. Let's see the lecturers back to school. You saw more universities there, and we are paying taxes day by day. And of course, by April or by April thereabout, we'll be filling in tax returns. And you have to fill in what what you've paid for in this government. But you're paying, you are filing what you've not been given. Bad roads, poor infrastructures. We are struggling with affordable housing programs. You see, the other time there was crisis of floods, we've not been shown the mitigation measures. You've seen, of course, in some counties, even the firefighting, fire brigades doesn't work. Some counties are not having salaries for the staffs and all that. So there are so many things which are happening in Kenya that impeachment motion is not we are not in a crisis of removing the Rigathi Gachagua, who is working for the people. We are not in a crisis. There are other things which should be put as a priority other than impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. So that's my point. So for sure, I agree with anybody who says that Rigathi Gachagua should remain, but Ruto should go first. Thank you.
Buru, you have to respond on that. And before you respond, I have a question for you here.
Yes.
Someone is really asking you this. Jeff, I really discourage anything that can create a conflict between Central and Rift Valley. Don't listen to few people in Rift Valley who have political differences or Central. Let's focus. And also saying that getting the support of the Kisii region is a miracle. These are self-centered people and one of their own running. Getting their support would be a waste of time. And also saying that if removing Gachagua to stabilize the country, then what's wrong with that? Who is an individual when it comes to country stability?
Let me get a crack on it before Buru comes in. Please.
Yeah.
And I respect you, Mburu, very much. Lakini, you could say that the Kisii are self-centered is, for a better word, a very naive idea. Kisis are not self-centered. Kisis are very dependent. Wanasema ile wanataka, wanafanya ile wanataka. You can see, by, for example, Maraga, Usenya Chai. Those are the Kisis that you can give an example of. But the division between the Rift Valley and the Central, I don't think there is anything like that. You saw what happened today. Kutoka kwa Rift Valley, wanasema Rigathi has nowhere to go. Kuva Bakanga, Kuva driver. they were saying the same thing. So there is nowhere where there is a division. Yeah, as I can say, and I think I'm older than every one of you. But wale watu ambao wanaleta hiyo division ni politicians, wanaleta hiyo division ili waidike, na watu wanajua, people know. Kevin, yote umesema ni vizuri sana, lakini wacha tuseme ya kwamba in the bottom line watu wote wa Kenya wanapendana. Huko Kisii mahali natoka, mama Maragori, Waluya wanakaa huko, wa Kikuyu wanakaa huko, and which Kisiis are everywhere. Hakuna mtu anakufukuza other than the skirmishes that were there in the 1991s. Yeah, Moi kurealize ya kwamba Wakisii na Wakikuyu wamechukua shamba yao. There is nobody saying anything about anything or wanting that your neighbor ni Mkisii or your neighbor ni Mjaluo. There is nothing like that. Wacha Kimanzi, wacha nikwambia kwamba Kenyans are the most peaceful people na tutaendelea hivyo hivyo. Na huyu anauliza Jeff hiyo question, mwambie please, there is no division. Wakenya wote wanapendana. And the last of the worries, and I'm none of them, I'm not a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin, the worst of none of them as divisions. Ya kwamba huyu ni Mkikuyu na huyu ni Mkale na nini. There's nothing like that. We're intermarrying, we're doing everything together. The only division into now, the politicians about are using that analogy to get wherever they are going. And what we saw today to Leo, is a very clear indication of where Kenya is going. Thank you. Buru endelea.
Thank you so much for helping me answer that question. And yes, I wanna agree with you that Kenyans, apart from politics, they love each other. They don't care which tribe you come from. When I see Kimanzi, I don't care whether he is a Kaba or not. When I see Kevin and Ben here, we don't care the tribe we come from. But the politicians, they use the tribal card to make them relevant in politics. So it is true that our politics rotate around regions. And because of that aspect, the impeachment of Gachagua is likely to bring the division between the Rift Valley people, especially the Kalenjin, and the Central Kenya people. That is a statement of fact. That is the truth. Unless the Rift Valley people decide to stand with Gachagua like they are doing, just like we decided to stand with William Ruto, and we told Uhuru, this man you are fighting here, he supported you, he fought for you. Without you, without Ruto, Uhuru was not going to become the president. And we stood with Ruto up to the last minute until he became the president. And that is how we saved the situation. Where we were heading was to have a division between the Central and the Rift Valley, because there is that aspect of reciprocity in how politics are going in Kenya. We supported you. We are expecting you to support you. It is in human nature that if I do something good to you, I expect you also to be good to me, to be nice to me. That's what I believe. I don't believe in betrayal. I don't believe in deceit. That Nyagaka, we can plan to go and do something together. But when we succeed, I want to take all the benefits as if you never existed, as if you were not part of what we were doing. And that is what William Ruto is trying to do. They fought together with Gachagua and the team. But right now, they want to pretend like Gachagua is not relevant to the government. So the situation can be saved by the people of Rift Valley. When or if they decide, Gachagua, we know that without you, it would have been very hard for William Ruto to become the president. We are going to start with you. We are going to support you. That is one way of telling the president and the politician, it is not a must we follow what you want us to do. And that will really help us not to go back to where we have come from. I want to say that impeachment of Gachagua is one great or a big mistake that William Ruto is about to make. And if it happens within the shortest time possible, we'll still be in this discussion. And I'll tell you, did I say that that's a huge mistake? That's a huge mistake. But if William Ruto and his government are serious, a serious government right now, because I'm in Kenya, I'm in the ground, what should be preoccupying their mind is how do we revive the economy? People are really suffering. I am sympathizing with people. If they are serious, they would be thinking, how do we build these roads? How do we repair our roads? Because most of them are in pathetic situations. You know, almost all cars in Kenya, they are making noise because of potholes. Kimanzi, can I tell you, from Nairobi to Nakuru, we are spending between 4 and 5 hours. Such a short distance that should not be taking more than 2 hours. 5 hours because of traffic jam throughout, day and night. Because the road is very narrow. There is no government that has realized the road between from Nairobi to Kisumu needs to be expanded. I mean, the speed that people are using is between 40 and 50 kilometers per hour because the trucks are using the same road. The traffic is too much. There is no lane for overtaking. Everything is upside down. Yet we have time to think about impeachment of the deputy president. If the government is serious, they would be thinking of the basic things like how can we have clean cities, clean towns. I was in Nairobi today. Some places you pass and you feel like in your body it is like already you feel you are already contaminated just by breathing the air around some areas in our city. Those are the things that our government should be thinking about. How do we ensure decent life for our people? You will never hear, like in a country like America, I never had a quarrel between Trump and Pence. I have not had a quarrel between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I never had the quarrel between Obama and Biden because they are busy doing what they're supposed to do. But these people are busy looting. They are busy stealing from the people. And therefore, that is why you see all these fights. They are unnecessary fights. Fights that are there because our government is not a serious government. Finally, I want to tell the Gen Zs, they said they want to help Kenya. Seize the opportunity. This is an opportunity that has presented itself. Can you utilize this opportunity and this door that the government itself has opened, and now you restart those demonstrations and other Kenyans join in and help to kick out the government that is not serious, the government that is not focused to serve the people. Because the reason why we supported William Ruto, it is because of the manifesto and the agenda that he had for Kenya. But right now, he has lost track. He has lost focus. The things he is focusing on, they were not part of his manifesto. So we need now, if there are people who are saying for sure they want to help Kenya, seize the opportunity. Gen Zs, where are you? This is the opportunity that has presented itself. Thank you.
Jeff, you are so contradicting. I think it's just the other day when we had picketing, I would call it picketing, which of course, as the president stated, were infiltrated by the goons. And Jeff Mburu, you are always against some of us when we were opposing William Ruto completely, and you didn't want to have such kind of engagements. And individually, I kept telling you that Kenyans are finding it rough even to buy sugar or even salt on the bare minimum. Salt is actually one of the basic needs that a household could may not miss in the house. But at that time, it was so hard for Kenyans even to buy a packet of salt. And you kept saying how William Ruto is doing so well. Things are going on so well. Now you are talking about the narrow road from Nairobi to Nakuru or to way down to Kisumu. And you've not even told us how many potholes do we have from Busia to Mombasa. Are you aware of the statistics? There are 3,500 potholes from that highway. From Busia to Mombasa, 3,500 by Kenha. These are things which have not been rectified. It's a colonial road. It's a very small road. There's traffic jam. And of course, traffic jam and fuel prices are also up, both diesel and petrol. And of course, we've seen a lot of energy going towards unnecessary, to say the least, towards zero development to the Kenyan nation. And as I told you, it's all about impeachment. Impeach this one, create social health insurance, put it there. I don't know even the name. Is it Social Health Authority or something? Something quite a weird name. Let's scrap in this one and let's come in with this other one. So a lot of tantrums in the Kenyan system. You've said it so well that in other countries, of course, the developed countries, there are no such kind of things. But William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, they are on pace. They are on toes all through. Let's chase each other. Let's look for Raila Odinga to come and help us. The other time you are against him, but now you are saying, okay, let's also impeach this William Ruto. And now, of course, you are calling for the Gen Zs to.
You think Raila would be the solution?
Would do what?
Do you think he would be the solution to the problems we are having?
He has been. Of course, he has been winning elections since 2007, and you have it in record, of course. In as much as you campaign for Ruto, who is now misleading Kenyans, and now less than 2 years now he's misleading Kenyans. Your vote is just, is a complete trash. I would call it trash because it's you see, you wasted your energy to vote for somebody who is now dealing with Kenyans ruthlessly, both internally and internationally. Is that what you want?
Kevin, I am a sympathizer of William Ruto.
Don't sympathize with William Ruto. He's a Kenyan like you.
I have always been wishing that he can just refocus his energy.
I don't like people like you, Mburu. To be sincere with you, I don't like people like you who sympathizes with a bad leader.
My character and my personality is, you don't have to like me. I have my way of seeing things. Because the reason why I'm saying I'm a sympathizer is because I know even bad people can change. The problem is that William Ruto is taking so long to change. He is taking much time to do what he's supposed to do. And that is why the other time I was really supporting him. And because I thought there is something he is doing. And there are plans he's putting in place that within a shortest time, we are going to have the impact of what he's doing behind the scene. But now the kind of fight they have started, this is what has made me realize, oh my God. Then remember the other time I was not in the ground Right now, I'm in Kenya. I can see the suffering. I can see the situation. You see, and this is the advice I can give to our president. You don't have to try to do everything within the 5 years. Because when you have so many small projects, people will not even realize what you are doing. Just get few mega projects that can make change to a country. The other day, just yesterday, I used the super highway, the Nairobi Thika super highway. Man, I remembered Kibaki because that is such a mega project. It makes that place look like any other city in America. I mean, William Ruto, you don't have to try to do everything at the same time. Within you are just remaining with 3 years. Don't try to do everything. Get one serious or two serious projects that will solidify your legacy. Right now, what you are doing, nobody can feel it. Nobody can see it. We don't know what.
Was my time.
We don't know what
Buru
William
was-
Ruto has done so far. Take your time.
Buru
now.
was my time. Yeah. So
Take your time.
in a nutshell,
Yes.
I think let them try. If they manage to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, which I don't see, then so be it. If they manage, I will say, I'll send them a very congratulatory card and tell them how, how best they have done it, and they can use the same energy to impeach William Ruto as well after this Rigathi Gachagua is gone. So in as much as we can be here supporting him, yes, to some extent, because we need to start with the big fish, which is William Ruto. But now that they have started with him, if they manage, well and good. But in my opinion, they may not manage. If they manage, let them manage, but then go ahead and impeach also William Ruto, who is also rotten at the head.
I want us to start the process. You see, I want us to start the process. We can talk, but it is better if we can act. Because by saying we should impeach William Ruto without initiating anything, it might not help much. We need to come up with the necessary steps. We need to start now planning how can that happen so that the next president can be serious and can know that Kenyans can impeach me. There is what we call setting, how do we call it? An example. Can William Ruto become the example for others to learn from? Don't take Kenyans for granted. Don't take the people who voted for you for granted. We should have a motion. This motion about Rigathi Gachagua is not a bad motion, but we should have a motion of impeaching the president, even if it does not go through. And we campaign for it. We see where it can go. Don't you think we can initiate that, good friend? You already have a party.
Let's start tomorrow. I'm in for the impeachment of William Ruto.
The motion. Let's look for the steps, and then from there we start the process. Yeah. Kimanzi, we want to go and sleep. Keep on disappearing, and you are the moderator. What's happening?
No. That is Buru. I can see the comment section there saying that the conversation between Buru is saying that the conversation between Jeff and Kevin tells us why we still have this kind of government. Kevin, I hope you know the. Saying that I also saying that Kevin, I hope you know the Siaya governor telling us someone can do better than Ruto is laughable. What is he doing after criticizing government?
Yeah, there is nothing. It's just Siaya, there is nothing. I've been telling you this. There is nothing happening in Siaya. There is no medicine in hospitals. Of course, they brought in tractors which were supposed to be contracted at a cheaper prices. We don't see them there. We use very expensive tractors. So what is there in Siaya what is there in Siaya, Mburu and Boni that can warrant Orengo to praise the Ruto and the rest? Why? There's nothing there. I mean, it's a county without a deputy governor. The deputy governor works from his home. So what is it that he can say, okay, now let Gachagua go and this one remain and all that? Just because Raila Odinga is vying for the AUC? That's not right. Let's have a democratic system. Let's have a democratic governance. In as much as I'm coming from there, there's nothing. If it's to be used as an example for the entire Kenyan, how county governments are working, then Siaya will be, then Kenya is a worst state in terms of the governance system and the dispensation of development structures. So there's nothing there. There's nothing in Siaya.
So finally, because some of us want to retire to bed, on a serious note, we should start now looking at the clauses that talks about the impeachment of the president. Because after listening to the public participation, the people are saying, kufa dereva, kufa makanga.
Buru, before you answer that, I want us to hear this. I think this is related to that.
Jina naitwa Mwaniki Zak kutoka eneo bunge la Laikipia East Laikipia East. Mimi ni mzaliwa hapa Laikipia na tumeshangazwa sana na haya maneno ya Gachagua kwa sababu hawezi kuwa unatuletea serikali ambayo unataka itufanyie kazi kisha wewe unaenda pale kupiga ile serikali ilhali wewe hakuna maendeleo ambayo unapigania sisi watu wa mlima. Wewe ukiamka asubuhi unatuambia mlima na huu mlima wewe ukikuja hakuna ambacho wewe unatuletea ili tuweze kusema huu mlima ni wetu. Na ndio maana tunasema kama unataka upewe heshima, pia wewe pea heshima kiongozi wetu ambaye ni Rais William Samoei Ruto. Na sasa ndio maana tunasema wewe kama unataka kuendelea na siasa yako ya mlima, wachana na hiyo cheo ya DP. Kuja hapa mlima uongea kuhusu mlima bila cheo ya DP. Ndio uwezi kuwa unapiga serikali na wewe unaikulia, alafu unakuja sisi kutuambia tukule mchele na nyama. Tumekataa. Aende.
Mikaliaru na ni mkaaji wa Laikipia pia. Ile naweza sema tulianza kusema tupate amani. Na heshima haikuji kwa kifua. Kama unataka kuheshimiwa na wakubwa wetu, pia heshimu wakubwa wetu. Wale viongozi tuko nao hata kama ni mlima Kenya, ni sisi tuliwachagua kwa upendo na kwa imani yetu. Kwa hivyo kama unataka tukwende njia zako, pia tuheshimu. Kitu ya pili, wakati tunaongea mambo ya mlima, tuambie ile kitu umetufanyia, tutakuunga mkono. Mwangi Kionjore ni mheshimiwa wetu, alituletea soko hapa na saizi inaundwa. Wewe badala ya kwenda kusema barabara ya Rumuruti itengenezwe kutoka hapa mpaka Nanyuki, unasema vile unafinyiliwa. Sasa unataka tukae opposition miaka 5. Kama umeshindwa hata sisi tunaweza kwambia ujiondoe na sisi tuendelee na wale viongozi tumechagua. Na Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Mimi ni mfanyabiashara Nanyuki. Nahitaji customer Mjaruo, nahitaji customer Mkamba, nahitaji customer mpaka Masai. Wakati umeniambia mimi Mjaruo akiniona hawezi nunua kwangu, unaniharibia biashara. Tafuta amani, otherwise hiyo ingine utatuacha mashakani, ujisaidie kwa tumbo yako.
Jina naitwa Dirango Wambogo, mfanya biashara katika mji wetu wa Nanyuki. Mimi nimejitokeza siku ya leo kwenda katika public participation kusema ninaunga mkono kung'atuliwa kwa makamu wa rais ama deputy president wa Republic of Kenya. Sababu moja ni kwamba uwezi kuwa unauza sera zako kwa misingi ya kikabila. Kwa sababu kama sisi wakaaji wa mji wa Nanyuki tuko makabila zote katika mji huu wetu wa Nanyuki. So tunakuomba tu kwa hisani kubwa deputy president, kama unafanya siasa zako, jua wewe ni deputy president wa Kenya mzima. Wewe si deputy president wa mlima. Kwa hivyo mimi ndivyo nasema uende nyumbani, kwa sababu umeshindwa kuunganisha Wakenya wote na kuleta siasa za ukabila. Siasa za ukabila Kenya zimepitwa na wakati na zote tunajivunia kuwa Wakenya. Ule mtu wako Kisumu anajivunia mlima ulio Nanyuki. kwa sababu mlima haukuitwa mlima Nanyuki, uliitwa mlima Kenya, kwa sababu mlima ni wa yetu. Rasilimali zote ambazo tuko nazo katika hii Kenya yetu tunajivunia sisi zote kama Wakenya. Kwa hivyo hatuwezi jivunia sisi watu ambao tuko karibu ya mlima ati mlima ni yetu. Naye wale wako Kisumu watasema bahari ni ya nani? Wale wako Mombasa watasema bahari ni ya nani? Kwa hivyo tunakuomba kwa heshima kubwa sana tupatie sisi vile tunataka hii serikali itufanyie, ni tufanyie kazi. Tulishagua kwa hisani, kwa mapenzi, na wewe pia ulikuwa mmoja wa kuja kutuambia sisi tuichague hii serikali. Kwa hivyo patia rais wetu muda afanye kazi, na kuomba tu, uwezi kuwa unachukiwa na wabunge zaidi ya 300. Kwa hivyo lazima uko na shida fulani, kwa sababu kama ungekuwa tu unakosolewa na wabunge mmoja ama wawili tungeona kuna jambo, lakini wabunge 300, jiite mkutano hata wewe naibu wa rais na ujiulize maswali kama kiongozi.
Yes, Buru, you can answer that before Penny Nyagaga gets in and weigh on it.
Mimi acha niongee Kiswahili kwa sababu those guys are speaking Swahili. Chenye nitasema, mimi niko kwa ground na nimekuwa central sana. Na unajua mimi huwa naambia watu kweli peupe. Mtu anaitwa Gachagua saa hii central, kama kuna kazi William Ruto amefanya ni kumjenga Rigathi Gachagua. Amechukua nyundo na mishumari na bao na chuma akimjenga kumpeleka juu. Saa hii Rigathi Gachagua Central Kenya anapendwa ajabu. Lakini siasa ni kwamba sio lazima upendwe na watu wote. Watu wenye wanaongea hapa unaona ni watu wamepangwa vizuri sana, hata wako na mabango yameandikwa. Hao ni watu wamepangwa na kiujuli, hata wamesema vizuri sana. Ukiwa mtu ambaye ako na hekima unaweza soma in between the statements zenye wana make. Ati mjumbe wetu ni fulani, jua alitufanyia nini. Lakini tunajua vizuri sana Mwangi kiujuli siasa yake tunaielewa, watu wa Central wanamuelewa kabisa. Na mimi sijali hata Gachagua akitolewa. But my advice saa hii kwa wale wanadhani Gachagua ati mtu ambaye amedharauliwa ama ameachiliwa, it will be a very serious shock. Wale watu wengi nimeongea na wao wamekasirishwa sana na hiyo jambo impeachment, na saa hii Gachagua, Ruto na timu yake wamemsaidia kumjenga sana kisiasa. Ile itawasaidia na Mungu awasaidie wasucceed kwa impeachment. Hapo at least watakuwa wamemmaliza, kwa sababu kama atatolewa kwa njia ya impeachment itakuwa gumu sana hata kusimama kiti kingine, kwa sababu ni kumaanisha there is gross misconduct. Lakini kumbuka, hata akitolewa na bunge na hata na Senate, bado ako na mahakama ama ya juu mahali anastahili kupeleka hiyo kesi yake iangaliwe kwa mambo ya threshold, kwa mambo ya public participation. Hayo mambo yote na hizo vitengo zote lazima zitafuatiliwa mpaka ihakikishwe ya kwamba vile wanasema ni ukweli. Lakini wasipofaulu, William Ruto ajue ametengeneza monster katika Rigathi Gachagua. Atakuwa amemjenga ajabu. Saa hii Gachagua ndiye watu wanaiba huko Central Kenya kwa sababu ya hiyo impeachment. Hiyo tu kwa sasa. Usiku mwema.
Asante Buru, of course, for giving us your time today. We had missed you here in Afrique 24, and we hope to see you frequently in this channel. Penny Nyagaga, of course, you have been silent. What do you have to say about the youth reactions today during public participation?
Yes, Buru, kama hujatoka hapo ni kweli. Nilikuwa nyumbani kama in April and March. Now, ukiwa on the ground, una see the things from a very different angle. Tulikuwa tuna support Kevin. Personally, I was really taking on everybody that ever said anything wrong about Ruto. Na hivyo ni kusema kwamba some of us who had gone through the system ya Ruto wakati alikuwa anatusumbua in the 80s, we thought that he had changed. Kevin, kama unataka, I will say I am really sorry. Because anything that this guy said, we ate it. Hii kitu anasema at bottom up economics. You know, someone in the 70s and 80s. Why Europe, how it came up, the Asian countries, giants, how they came up, is you liberalize the system where more people pay the taxes and then support the government. But the huyu anataka kudu tax na ibe better. That will not work. But when we thought that he was speaking something that we realized, thought that he knew what he was talking about, he didn't. So, Gavin yangu ni kusema kwamba we are very sorry to have really intimidated everybody to follow this. Na mimi personally nikienda huko ushago nasema watu my brothers makazi wanasema wewe unazungumza mzuri kama mzee lakini lazima uwe ni ODM. I will never be in ODM. Na mmeona vile ODM sasa huyu ni handbag ya Ruto and they are corrupting and stealing from the Kenyan people every day. Na kukuja the last part, Gachagua is already Buru. He has already they have already done it. Ni sio kuongoja mpaka hii imalize Buru. This guy has made Gachagua more popular in the mountain. He's going to make it more popular in the whole country. Kutoka Western to Rift Valley to everywhere. Sasa when it bottoms up, when it cools down, ndio tutasema ataenda wapi. Na wengine tunayu kijana Gen Z ni Morara ndio tunataka aende mbele kwa sababu these people are as corrupt. You know, Raila, Raila, Ruto, yes.
Nyagaka, mimi nataka tuanze ya kuanzia kwa president. Hivyo ndivyo wananchi ndivyo wanataka. So nyinyi wenye huko nje, wengi wenu kwa nje, we can sponsor emotion. Start a process. Mtu yeyote mwenye anahisi ya kwamba hii serikali, mimi naudhika, by the way naudhika sana. Nikienda, yani mimi nilikuwa nafikiria Ruto akichukua, ukiingia mji, hata vyenye huyu nani alikuwa anaongea, anaitwa nani huyu governor Sakaja wa Nairobi. Vyenye alikuwa anaongea nilikuwa nadhani huo mji within 1 year itakuwa ajabu. Usafi. I thought because he is a young guy and I thought he has traveled. Ameona vyenye miji inakaa. Oh my God, ile congestion iko hiyo city. Ile uchafu. Bananas, makaratasi, takataka, maboga. We really need to do something. Mimi najua Nyagaka sijui uko nchi gani, lakini ukiwa umewahi toka na uko nje ya Kenya alafu sasa urudi after some time, ndivyo unaona kabisa we need to change how we do things. We need serious leaders who will work for our country. Not just for this generation, for the generations to come. Yani mtu afanye kitu yenye hata akitoka, hiyo kitu itaishi kusaidia watu. But what are these people doing? They are busy doing temporary things. They are hawaoni bali, wanaona venye mimi nitachukua bilioni, tufanye tenda, nipewe bilioni kadhaa zangu. They are not thinking about the country and the generations to come. Hiyo ndio shida kubwa nimeona nchi. Vumbi tumekunywa. 8 years ago, kuna mji hapa yetu hapa ya Gilgil. Yani the rate of growth and development hii katauni ya Gilgil iko karibu venye ilikuwa tukiwa standard 1. Yani the rate yenye pesi yenye ina grow nayo, vumbi tuliyokuwa tunakunywa ni the same. Barabara zenye zilikuwako ni zile tu, hakuna imeongezeka. Hakuna there is a problem. Uwezi niambia for 10 years wananchi hawajafanya mambo yenye inastahili, infrastructure ibadilike, hospitali zibadilike, barabara zibadilike. Something ought to be done. We are stagnating as a nation and we need to start moving. na wale watu wenye wameiba pesa they should be forced kurudisha. Kama mnasema Gachagua akona 5 billion, okay, sawa, investigation inafanywa, wanarudisha. Si mambo tu ya kukuja kuongea kwa media na mambo mengine hata inakuaga uongo ya kupaka wale wengine uchafu. What I am saying, can these leaders settle down and start working for us? And if they are not willing to work, what do we do as a people? We kick them out. Ama wachukuliwe kama wale wa nini wa Sudan, wawekwe kwa lori. Jeshi si walishika hao viongozi wote wakaweka kwa lori wakaenda wakaufukia. Now they have new leadership. I think that's where we shall go. Mimi nimenyamaza. Nasikia vibaya sana nikiona ile mchezo ya uongozi iko.
Jeff, hiyo ndio mimi nataka kuambia kwamba when we saw somebody like Ruto come and explain to us how he's going to govern Kenya, how he's going to be raising the bottom up, wale watu ambao hawajiwezi, wale wa chini ambao atawapatia pesa ya bure, I mean funding without interest rates. Tulifikiri anajua what he's talking about. And it is exactly what he's talking about. What's happening now is what has held us back. Third world country standards. You don't mean what you say. You don't anything. So mimi Jeff, unajua, I'm in a country of Texas. Lakini when the people say they are going to do something, they campaign on it and then they do it. Lakini huyu alikampeni, alitudanganya, tulimsupport Kevin, and we never knew. Now huyu nani Raila has done this from Moi time, 1998, 97, 98. Walishinda Moi, alafu Kibaki, Matiba na yeye wakaenda kotini. By Friday he was a minister of energy and the secretary general to KANU. On and on and on up to today. He has taken the opposition, put it in his pocket, and joined the government. For what? The opposition should be there, vibrant enough to explain to the people of Kenya or any country how, if they voted for them, they will do the country better. Na hii imeanguka. Na some of us, ngoja nikwambie ya mwisho ya kwamba we support Morara, not necessarily that he will win the elections of 2027. We support Morara because we hope he will be a vibrant opposition kama atashinda hizo elections. Kwa sababu ukiwa opposition that is energetic enough, it's better than being even in a government. Na hiyo ndio inaonyesha the differences. And that's how democratic governments govern themselves. Unaona kama Israel siku hizi inapigana, the guy is losing, but lakini akienda hii war ndio anaendelea vile anaendelea. Lakini that's a different story. Lakini yetu ya Kenya ni kuona ya kwamba we have really developed, 60 years later, we have developed it to where we can exactly say what we want and vote for the system that we want. Lakini hiyo, what Ruto has done is taken us back. Lakini we give him at least 3 years na atoke. He has to go, regardless of what. Kama ni huyu Gachagua anachukua, kama ni nani, we don't give a damn. We don't care. Lakini I don't see, Kevin, Buru, I don't see how this guy can win any other elections. He has lost the mountain. Hata watu ya kwao, Rift Valley wamemkataa, the Western Kenya wamekataa. Other than stealing or anything, there is no way. Hata Kenyatta alipatia Moi, Raila everything. He never won the election. So we hope that huyu atoke kabisa. Kevin,
you see, Mburu, you see, I started by elaborating on a few areas where Ruto is not doing well. Since Ruto came into government, there have always been people crying left, right, and center, different, civil servants, of course, the university lecturers and all that. What kind of state is that? What are we building? If we can't even pay our lecturers, if we can't pay our teachers, meaning that we want to kill our education.
Our doctors cannot be paid.
Okay? So all these are showcasing the fact that Ruto is not a good leader. He cannot lead Kenyans. He's there to reap from Kenyans, get more money, so that at least he can have enough money in bulk to campaign in 2027. But then, to whom will he be campaigning to? In whose doorsteps? Because for me, I would not allow him to come to my doorstep campaigning for his re-election. That is null and void. The whole of my family would not. Possibly my neighbor's family and the extended village, and by extension, the whole constituency possibly. Maybe can get 1 or 2 votes from Rarieda constituency or Rarieda sub-county, and possibly 4 votes, the whole of Siaya County. So, it's just a time that Kenyans should just wake up and vote out this kind of individual together with his crooks. Let them go home and let's have fresh leaders. If you ask me, a clear or a very coherent leader who can lead Kenya, yes, I would bet with Morara. He knows what he wants for Kenya. He knows what has been done and what has not been done. He can showcase all the developments that have happened in the entire country. I'm not supporting him just because we come from the same region. No. It's just because he has a clear mind to support the people of Kenya. Look at Look at the fact that the other time Ruto and the one now he calls brother Raila, they were in Germany showcasing how there will be structured labor agreements with Germany. But then how many Kenyans have you heard of any neighbor of yours saying that he has gotten a job or he's going to Germany and all that? No one. Some of us are looking for these kind of things, but you can't see them. They're under the carpet. Even to refer somebody, okay, you are trained on this, come so that at least you use my laptop to apply for this. They're not there. No one at all. So these are just campaign tools that Ruto is trying to use so that at least he can hoodwink the Kenyan youths that he's doing something, but in real sense, he's doing nothing. Zero. I would rate him as zero completely. So it's high time that come 2027, if he survives until 2027, then let's vote out this, I would call him a bad leader in the best possible terms. He's a very bad leader. Let's vote him out. Let him go back to Sugoi. Let him do farming. I see he has very good, he has so many chicken and cows. Let him do his farming at home, other than not doing any development for the Kenyan people. That's my take.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Yes. Ya kwamba Kevin, that's a very good ideas. Now, if I've said it, let me repeat again. Huyu nani Kebaso, Morara, baba yake, his grandfather. We seen him when we were young, and he really penetrated the Kisi elites. This guy is doing is he did the same thing. At that time, we had Mzee Nyamweya, Mzee Lawless, George Sagini. They were more senior than him, but he was endeared in Kisi, everywhere in Kisi. Kwa sababu his positions in his debates. Now watu wakampenda sana. Now when the system killed him, because he had found out the guy who had killed Tom Mboya, and when they killed him when he was coming from Kakamega, he was already liked by all the Kisis, and he's named the sons Wote, vijana wote ambao they were born in 70s and between 70 and 75, wote wanaitwa Murara. And this guy, he's standing up the same way his granddaddy did, George Morara. He's doing the same thing. So we have hopes for him, but you never know. Thank you very much. Kevin. Hello.
Sorry, Pen. I think they lost.
Yeah.
Looking at Gachagua's impeachment.
Sasa Kevin, kwenu ni Siaya?
Hello?
Yeah, Kevin, kwenu ni Siaya? Kevin.
Nyinyi mmesikia muona kama yule Rigathi Gachagua ambaye alibarikiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu akakuwa naibu rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, lakini wakati tulikuwa hapa Bungoma na rais na Papa wa Roma akaamka akaambia rais wa nchi ya Kenya kwamba tunakushukuru kwa kupatia kazi vijana wetu, lakini akamwambia kwa Kiingereza that I want to pull an Oliver Twist. We appreciate what you have given us but we want more. Yule Rigathi Gachagua aliamka na kujibu Papa wa Roma akaambia Speaker Moses Wetangula kwamba kulingana na kura ambayo tulipigia Rais William Ruto, yale ambayo tumepata hapa Bungoma imetosha na hakuna kitu kingine ambayo tumepata. Leo nasimama hapa kuambia watu ya Bungoma kwamba ile mipango yetu ya kufufua factory ya Nzoia na barabara nyingi ambazo zimekwama, Misiku Brigadier ikiwemo, yule ambaye alikuwa anasambaratisha ile mipango ni Rigathi Gachagua, naibu rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na sisi tumesema yule Rigathi Gachagua, kazi ni nyingi, masaa ndiyo machache. Hivi karibuni hatatembea, ataondoka kwa kukimbia. Hatakimbia peke yake, atakuwa anakimbia hatua 5, anaangalia nyuma, kisha anaongeza mwendo kasi, anaenda mbio mbio akielekea kijijini mwake, because the country doesn't require a tribal deputy president. It requires a deputy president who will unite every part of our country regardless of whether they voted for our government or they never voted for our government. Nyinyi mmesikia muona kama yule Rigathi Gachagua ambaye alibarikiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu